Here's what actually went down between Justin Bieber and SZA on stage, and no, it wasn't the sweet or flirty moment some people made it out to be. If anything, it was a clear sign that something might be seriously wrong with Justin. The way it all played out wasn't cute or playful, it was uncomfortable, and it left fans more worried than excited. Justin made a surprise appearance at SZA's concert in Los Angeles. At first it looked like a nice gesture, something fun for the crowd, but once you really looked at him, you could tell something wasn't right. He held the microphone, but he barely sang. His voice didn't match the rhythm, his body language was off, and he moved slowly, like he wasn't fully there. It was like he was trying to go through the motions but couldn't keep up. The moment that really got people talking was when he gently kissed SZA's hand and stared at her with a distant look in his eyes. To some, it looked romantic, but it wasn't. SZA wasn't being flirted with. She was stepping in to support him. You could see her steadying him, trying to guide him through the moment without making it worse. That hand kiss could have meant a quiet thank you, or maybe it was just an automatic reaction in a messy situation, but it didn't look like love. It looked like someone falling apart, trying to hold it together in public. Hailey Bieber was also in the crowd. Cameras caught her expression. It wasn't angry, it wasn't jealous. It was blank, like someone watching something happen that they've seen before. That kind of look comes from someone who's tired, someone who's seen a person they care about struggle again and feels helpless. You could sense that this wasn't new to her. It didn't feel like she was upset with Justin, just quietly heartbroken. This was someone who's been there before and didn't know what else to do. This isn't the first time Justin's behavior has raised questions. In the past, people would say he was just emotional or maybe dealing with stress. Like that time he lashed out at a photographer while just trying to get a coffee. It's not an isolated moment anymore. These incidents have started to form a pattern. He looks overwhelmed, exhausted, and sometimes completely disconnected from what's happening around him. What happened on stage wasn't cute. It wasn't some moment to turn into memes or gossip. It was hard to watch because it showed someone who clearly wasn't okay. This isn't about a secret relationship with SZA or some drama for the internet to feed on. It's about someone who may need real help. The bigger question now is actually showing up for Justin in real life? Because from the outside, it's starting to look like he's falling apart, and the people closest to him might be the only ones who can step in before things get worse.
Saw the Justin Bieber performance with SZA as a special guest, right? I don't know how much longer we're going to ignore how bad a shape Justin Bieber is, and I have talked about this quite a bit. I have gone on a roller coaster. I have felt like he is totally okay, and then I have felt like he is not well.
I've seen a lot of jokes and harsh comments online about Justin's performance, with people saying he looked spaced out or awkward next to SZA. Some even tried to twist it into something romantic, claiming there was no spark because he doesn't care about his wife Hailey. Yes, it's no secret that Justin and Hailey's relationship has been through some tough patches. But that performance had nothing to do with their marriage. People are getting distracted by the wrong details. This wasn't about being moody or bored. Justin looked mentally checked out, like he wasn't fully aware of where he was or what he was doing. And let's clear something up. SZA wasn't flirting with him. At one point, she gently placed her hand on his back. Not in a flirty way, but like she was quietly helping him stay grounded and present. It felt like she was doing her best to keep the performance from completely falling apart. But instead of recognizing that something might be wrong with Justin, people started editing short clips to make it look like a love scene from a movie. That's not only inaccurate, it's tone deaf. Even more strange is the sudden trend online of saying Justin needs a black woman to balance him, just because he had one moment with SZA. That kind of thinking is out of line. This wasn't about love, chemistry, or attraction. It was about someone struggling in public and another person stepping up to make sure they didn't fall apart in front of a crowd. SZA stayed calm, stayed kind, and kept things together. She didn't make it about herself. She simply showed support when someone clearly needed it. And that should be respected instead of twisted into something it wasn't.
People are kind of fixated on how he was touching SZA and like doing all these grabby type motions, kissing her hand, doing all that. And they're like, oh, Hailey Bieber, I don't know how she does it. Like, she's so good for doing that because I wouldn't be able to do that. And all I could sit there and think about is, Justin's not even here with us.
I'm not here to make wild assumptions, because the truth is, none of us really know what Justin was going through that night. But if you've ever seen someone who's dealt with addiction or mental health issues, the way he acted on stage felt familiar. It didn't look like he was putting on a performance or trying to be dramatic. It looked like someone who was struggling just to stay grounded, to stay in the moment. And that's not something to joke about or turn into gossip. People also need to stop dragging Hailey Bieber every time Justin appears to be having a hard time. There's a lot of unfair hate aimed at her, as if she's only with him for fame. But that doesn't match the reality we're seeing. If Justin is dealing with something serious, there's no way it's not affecting Hailey too. Being close to someone who's going through it mentally or emotionally is exhausting. Now imagine trying to support them while the entire internet picks apart your every move, calls your marriage fake, and makes jokes about your husband's pain. What happened that night on stage wasn't just an awkward celebrity moment. It felt like a small piece of something much deeper, something Justin has actually spoken about before. He's talked openly about how fame and the pressure of the music industry have damaged his mental and emotional health. This isn't new. The signs have been there. Fans who have followed him for years should be able to recognize when something's off. That performance wasn't about drama. It was a reminder that Justin is still dealing with a lot. And from what we could see, SZA was the only person in that moment who really tried to keep him steady. That kind of quiet support says more than any headline ever could.
SZA brought out Justin Bieber, and someone in the comments said you could literally see his marriage leave his body.
Hailey Bieber recently opened up about the pressure of constantly living in the public eye and how it's taken a toll on her personal life, especially her marriage. While promoting her skincare brand's launch at Sephora and appearing on the cover of Vogue, she finally spoke out about the years of online hate she's faced. For a long time, people have labeled her a stalker, mocked her family, and even dragged her dad just for bringing her to Justin Bieber's events when she was younger. Hailey had hoped that by now, after 7 years of marriage and having a baby, people would back off. But according to her, the criticism hasn't stopped. In fact, she's still seeing the same types of mean, repetitive comments that have followed her since 2018, and whenever she tries to clarify anything or defend herself, she says people just shut her down and accuse her of lying. She described that kind of reaction as being mentally trapped. No matter what she says, someone is ready to twist it or call her fake. Over the years, Hailey's tried hard to get people to see her real personality, but she feels like many have already made up their minds. She's been honest about how much that hurts, especially when her attempts to correct false stories are met with more hate. To cope, she's turned to therapy, which she says helps her stay grounded, especially now as a new mom. That transition alone has been challenging, but when you combine it with the constant online bullying, it became almost unbearable. Hailey said postpartum has been the most emotionally sensitive period of her life so far, and trying to figure out who she is. Now's a woman, a mom, and a public figure hasn't been simple. What's made it harder is seeing the internet constantly speculate about her relationship. Every few days, new rumors pop up saying she and Justin are breaking up, or that they're miserable behind closed doors. That kind of negativity messes with her mind. Still, she's trying to take control of what she can. A quote from Ariana Grande really stuck with her. It was about not letting outside negativity shape your life. Inspired by that, Hailey said she's learned to set boundaries. She now avoids online spaces that bring her down and puts more effort into managing her own content. She still shares parts of her life, but she's more protective of her peace. She's focusing on what matters: her mental health, her marriage, and her family. While Hailey has had public moments that sparked criticism in the past, this isn't one of them. Right now, she's clearly doing the work to manage her stress and protect herself emotionally. Her energy seems more focused, more mature. She's not trying to prove anything to anyone anymore, just trying to stay grounded. And yet, the hate continues. People still leave harsh, unkind comments no matter what she does. Some critics argue that anyone who goes out of their way to prove they're in a happy marriage must secretly be unhappy. Others bring up old videos of Hailey from when she was a teenager and say she stalked Justin before they got together. They claim she now brushes those moments off like they never happened, acting as if she's rewriting history. But let's be honest, there are a lot of things going on that she can't control, and it's unfair to expect her to carry the weight of every rumor or mistake Justin makes. A recent example, during Justin's uncomfortable performance, when he looked out of it on stage, people started questioning why Hailey didn't step in or do something. But what exactly was she supposed to do? Run up in the middle of a concert? Justin is an adult. He's responsible for his own behavior, and it's not fair to place that blame on her. Still, she gets dragged into it, as if she's somehow responsible for fixing everything. And let's not pretend that Justin has always made it easy for Hailey. There have been plenty of times where he's made her look bad, either by staying silent when she needed his support or making moments about himself. A perfect example was when she finally landed her own solo Vogue cover, a major accomplishment. Instead of simply congratulating her, Justin used the moment to bring up an old argument they had. He posted about how, during a fight, he once told her she'd never be on the cover of Vogue, Rather than focusing on her achievement, he made it about his past behavior, turning what should have been a proud moment into something awkward. People noticed the post didn't feel supportive, felt like he was trying to remind everyone that he once doubted her. And while he added a soft apology at the end, the damage was already done. It looked like another instance of him centering himself in a moment that wasn't his. What made it even worse was how differently he treated Kendall Jenner when she got her Vogue cover. With Kendall, he kept it light and supportive. No drama, no baggage, just kind words. So naturally, fans wondered, why couldn't he do the same for his wife? This kind of thing has happened more than once. Whether it's throwing shade in public, making Hailey feel uncomfortable during interviews, or not standing up for her when she's being attacked online, Justin's actions have fueled a lot of the public's skepticism about their relationship. That Vogue post wasn't just an isolated moment, it was part of a bigger pattern where he often seems to miss the chance to simply be kind and encouraging. So, with all that going on, is it really fair to keep blaming Hailey for everything? Even if she was eager to be with Justin back then, even if she chased after him as a teen, that doesn't mean she deserves constant blame now. People keep trying to turn her into the villain, no matter what she does. But when you look at the full picture, it's clear that she's been doing her best. Even in situations where the chaos isn't her fault. So many times she ends up taking the heat for things she didn't cause. What do you think? Is Hailey being judged too harshly? Are people too eager to criticize her no matter what she says or does? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and thanks for watching. See you in the next one.